Welcome to my final journal entry for Dr. Bogner's Organizational Dynamics class. I'm super excited to be able to record a video. I feel like I can really communicate my thoughts effectively through this mode, and I know that this is something that we are really pushing in online learning, so I'm excited to do it. So let's jump right in. The first question was, after compiling this journal, what are 3 things that you learned from this course? First and foremost, one of the most important things that I can do for the people that I work for and the people that I work with is to be passionate about the environment and the culture that I am a part of. And whether that means investing from a leadership standpoint of providing the tools and resources and the environment that people want to work in, or even if it's simply just as a team member making sure that I have the right attitude and or displaying the right character on a day-to-day basis, I need to be passionate about this because this affects everything from the top down in our organizations and also from the bottom up. Second, I need to become a better listener. I really struggle with this. I'm a talker. Obviously, that's why I like recording these videos, is because I get to talk about things that I'm passionate about and that I know about. But I need to make sure to take time to listen to the people that are in my life, that I work with, and need to make sure that I'm investing in myself by learning from others. I'm realizing that this is one of the primary ways that I grow as an individual, especially, as being a parent and having young children. It's very important that I listen to them and pay attention to their needs. But in a more corporate environment, I need to make sure that I'm listening to the people that I'm around so that I can learn from them. And third, I need to think more positively about those that are around me. So often I myself, if I'm wronged or I'm slighted, I automatically jump to the worst possible scenario and become defensive and think about how I need to defend my actions or my thoughts. And, I need to realize that people are really not going to be so concerned with what I'm thinking, but what I'm projecting is most important. What comes out and the response that I have towards them about what I think about something they've done or something they said is very important. My beliefs and my opinions about others are what are going to dictate how I respond and react to them, and so I need to be very careful about that. Second question is, how can you apply what you've learned in this course to the workplace? And I'll keep it brief, but number one, it's not about me. I know oftentimes as leaders, we think about, I wonder what this person thinks about what I did, and I wonder if this is the right decision. I wonder if I'm making this right move. And the reality is that sometimes I need to step back away from the smaller picture of what I'm trying to get done, and I need to think about the bigger picture and think about how those decisions affects the people around me and how I'm able to, have power over people's lives and their livelihood. And so I need to think more about others and not about myself when making decisions. Secondly, and I know that this seems so simple, but it was very profound for me. Employees and your colleagues they're thinking about themselves in relation to their environment around them. So they structure their thoughts, their actions, their suggestions, their feedback, their correction. They base that all around the environment that I as the leader have created for them. If they feel that they are able to be open and honest and that I'm willing to be receptive, they will feed into that and they will respond in that way. However, if I'm critical or if I'm not open to feedback, if I'm one who is reluctant to take advice from those that may be below me in the organization, they will not feel the ability to do that. And also from the top down, that same way, if I have a leader who feels that I can't take feedback or that I'm not willing to give feedback or willing to display my ideas, that affects the overall environment that we're a part of. And so I just need to be more cognitive of that. And thirdly, tying into that, I need to be a leader who asks the hard questions, that uses my critical thinking skills to really dig in and find out what is the best way to proceed and why people are acting the way that they are, responding the way they are towards certain change or towards something that's being implemented. And, by asking those hard questions, I'm really able to get to the root of being able to find the most effective ways to implement that change. I think about where we talked about the ability to fail fast and this module, and bringing prototypes of ideas and products to the forefront, and being willing to fail immediately, so that you're able to move forward. And I think that that's very important. Now, lastly, what is your philosophy on organizational dynamics? And I really had to put a lot of thought into this one, and I was able to write out a response that I feel is best appropriate for my definition of organizational dynamics. I said that organizations are a complex mechanism comprised of individual organisms, whether that's people, processes, or systems, that have become the cornerstone of our society. However, none of these would exist or succeed without the thoughts, actions, beliefs, emotions, feedback, failures, and successes of the individuals that inhabit them. Therefore, the dynamics created within an organization are not one of simply rules and rhetoric, but rather they created by the everyday actions of individuals. Every member helps determine if he or she believes that the organization they are a part of truly has value in the lives of its creators. When no common goal is shared and no value is found, the organization slowly perishes, and its inhabitants simply move on to play their part in creating or adding value to another organization, and in doing so, another organizational dynamic is created. And so, we've talked a lot about the flux of organizations and the different factors that are affected by that. And I just feel like that most accurately conveys what I have learned from this course, and how important it is to create an organization that is preeminent in its environment and its culture, and making sure that it takes care of the people and the resources that have been put in its steward and its care going forward, because it's very important if you want to retain talent and be successful in an organization to pay attention to these dynamics in the organization. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you listening to this and paying attention, and you have a good night.